Hello, strangers. Yes, we're back. It's week one, bitches. We're not in the jungle, but we're here on our online tailgates, our pioneering world first online tailgates. And we're back. It's week one, as I mentioned. Have I mentioned that already? I'm so excited I can't speak. With me today is Jamie Rowe. Hello, Jamie.
Hello.
And Peter. Peter, how you doing?
Proper football's here.
Absolutely. How exciting is that? I would say very exciting, really. We will be rolling out our tailgates for 18 weeks. Goodness me, 18 weeks, because we're going to be doing it during the bye week as well. So what's that? 4 months, just over 4 months worth of absolutely chaotic live streaming nonsense coming your way. And it's been a while, hasn't it? I think we're all very much looking forward to it. And of course, it might be just me, Jamie, and Pete here, but the link is out there. Come and join us. Say hello. All you have to do is hit that link, and I will let you in, and you can be part of us and be part of the whole community. So you're very welcome. So, how are we feeling today, Jamie? First.
Well, it's a beautiful time. The NFL season is so short and so intense that this is basically now it's we're on the way to February, and it's going to come thick and fast. To be honest, I don't think the Bengals are going to be transformatively good, but I think we're going to be a bit better than people think we are, and we're going to have a bit of fun on the way. And going with zero expectations, come out with sort of zero disappointment.
Pete, do you echo that? It's always best to go in with zero expectation. It is the Bengals we're talking about here.
Have
you set the bar a little higher this year?
We've not got zero expectation, but if you listen to mainstream media, who constantly banging on with tired old narratives about the Bengals, we had the Dan Patrick show last week saying that the O line was shaky, ignoring the fact that they didn't. So they conceded just one sack in the preseason. It's the same tired old narrative. Let's bash the Bengals. And therefore, there are no expectations. They think we'll be picking first, second, or third in the draft. So their expectations can be as low as they want. Let's go out there and shot them. I'm really looking forward to the season. I feel like this big beginning of every season, though, that optimism, because everyone starts 0-0, and you're thinking this could be our year. We're realistic enough. We know not. I've said before, look, we're looking for a playoff push next season, but this has got to be the building block for next season.
There's no Bobby Hart, Peter.
Say again?
There's no Bobby Hart.
Well, I know, and that's the biggest thing.
This is the first time in 3 years that we don't have that monstrosity kind of haunting us on the right-hand side.
Addition by subtraction.
Exactly. If you haven't seen one of these before, we've tried to build in the traditional elements of a proper physical tailgate and kind of bring them all together in a virtual environment. So you will see lots of silly food, some live music, football chat. We should be joined by our favourite captain, Jeremy, live from PBS at some point in the next hour. We also have Moz back with his beer recommendations, and Adam back, not with the betting this year, but we've decided to change that to fantasy football. If you're looking for some fantasy football tips, if you've got a few spaces left to fill, then Adam's your man. So all that is coming up. We also have a Vikings fan coming on a little bit later to tell us all about that team. But as ever, we really want to see you guys dressed up in your Bengals gear. Obviously, the last time we spoke on this tailgate, we didn't know that we were going to get uniforms, but we now have new uniforms. I know a lot of you out there have the new stripes. So, Jamie, I think you're not. You've got the old.
No, I'm old Colour Rush, which is my favourite jersey of the last 15 years. But
you and me both.
I do have one. And, that will make an appearance at some point. but at the
Well,
moment
we've
it's
already
clean.
got. Let's have a look. We've already got Scott Gibb there in his what have we got
T.
there?
Higgins.
Is no Ocho Cinco jersey, I think. Pete disappeared there. So Scott's all ready. I drove past. I went into my local town today, and I drove past a shop called Corn Hub, which I thought was quite good for a pun name. And of course, it just sells corn-related products, and it reminds me of my favourite shop pun names. You've got. I used to go to university in Luton, believe it or not. Famous, obviously, for its airport. And there was a hairdresser's there called Luton Hairport, which I thought was quite good.
Lovely. Oh, lovely. In Sheffield, there is, or at least was, a chippy called Quadrophenia, which is
I like
absolutely
that one as
superb.
well.
In Sheffield, there's a Chinese takeaway called Walk This Way. My favorite is actually a shop in Jerusalem that sells cheese. It's called the Jesus of Nazareth.
Oh, no.
I kid you not. That's honest. God's honest truth. Jesus of Nazareth.
Well, moving swiftly back to Corn Hub, there's another one of our flock, Andy Colina, and this is what he's been doing today. He won a trophy, the Fenland Sweet Corn Eating Championship. So there's Andy with one of his daughters there. Congratulations to Andy. And
that's going to be a difficult night.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Pete's gone again.
Well.
This is the chaos that ensues during.
My camera keeps cutting out. Sorry about that, gents.
That's all right. That's all right. So we really want to see how you're preparing for the game. Andy's gone with full corn eating malarkey, and Scott's gone with his tried and trusted Ocho Cinco jersey. Pete's gone again. Right, let's get some messages. You feel free to message with us. One Stuart Rowe. That's
that one.
Go Pack Go. All right. Stuart Baird, F1 was epic. Looking forward to tonight's game. Who Day from Scotland, says Andrew Adam. And who day? Sorry. To you, Adam. Dave Cass says who day from London. Daniel Johnson, who day from Newcastle. I have my new Borough stripes ready for week 1, says Daniel. And Ceiling Cat. Who day from Ohio, boys. Let's go. Let's go indeed. How exciting. Everyone's pumped up and ready to go. I mean, it can only be downhill from here, can't it? Let's face it. But this is the optimism and the energy. Thank you, Adam. I won't try that again. I promise with you. Pete's back. Pete, what's going on with your camera?
Oh, well, I've had to just go onto the laptop camera. My webcam seems to be cutting out all the time. So I'm a little bit closer to this camera now. Sorry about that.
It got scared. I
want to know who had 2 minutes 30 seconds in the sweepstake before beginning of the season. Paul would put an accent on.
That's actually quite quick, quite slow for me. It's normally within the first 30 seconds, isn't it? We will get to some fun and jollity at some point very soon. But I thought it's obviously quite a historic weekend because it's the 20th anniversary of 9/11, and obviously that's affected so many people across the world, but not just in America. And it's been quite a poignant weekend. And something that was shared by one of my favourite all-time players was Boomer Esiason. And this was in the carnage, in the rubble, in the awful carnage after 9/11. And I've never seen or heard this story before. Apparently, Boomer sent this picture out today, and he had an office on the 101st floor of the World Trade Center. I wasn't sure whether it was a north or south tower, but there in the rubble is a Bengals helmet, and it came from Boomer's office. And I just thought that was an incredibly evocative image, and I wanted to share it with you guys because obviously, you know, it's a really emotional, poignant weekend, and no doubt there will be tributes and all kinds of things going on across the league. I know the NFL are trying to mark the anniversary today. So just a moment of seriousness there in amongst all the fun and energy and optimism. And they say never forget. And that picture really kind of does bring it home, I think.
And the other thing to think about, of course, is that has survived a monumental incident, the building coming down, and still looks in reasonably good shape. Now, those are the same helmets that are protecting the players from serious head injuries, so it shows how well those helmets are made up, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But again, just a moment of seriousness there before we launch into things.
Very poignant.
Okay, so the Vikings today, good matchup for the Bengals, do you think?
Ooh. I'm not sure. I'm not sure at the moment. Obviously, we'll have to see. I like the Vikings' offense's matchups against us. Even if we stop Dalvin, I think we've got a reasonable chance of stopping Dalvin. The spiel about the Bengals' run defense is, I think, slightly overblown at this point. But I am worried about Thielen and Jefferson going up against our depleted secondary, particularly with Eli Apple playing, who has not had a fun time in the NFL and is basically here to try and kickstart his career again.
Yes, absolutely. And it is a bit of a worry, isn't it? I don't know. But then again, I wonder if the Vikings are kind of terrified of our players, because their offensive line is just as iffy as ours. Their second, I mean,
no, worse.
Got Patrick Peterson now, haven't they? So, they have got fantastic skill position players, but I do wonder whether they're equally as terrified as our our skill position guys as well.
I think they will be approaching it, and we'll ask the Vikings fan when he comes on, but I think they'll be approaching it in the same way that we will. We know that if our offense clicks, we'll be able to score points. We hope our defense can hold up against the skill positions of the opponents. The run games, potentially, both of them could be very good, but ultimately everything comes down to the O-line. And their O-line was poor last year. They spent a lot of resources strengthening it. And unlike ours, a lot of their attempts to strengthen it aren't out in the field today. I mean, Darisaw is out injured. They've got a journeyman backup right tackle starting at left tackle. I mean, we've not had a very good pass rush, but I've got to say that's not a bad opposition to come up against on week one. I think Hendrickson and Hubbard will be looking at that, thinking we could have a quick, fast start to the season in terms of getting sacks.
We're still waiting, of course, for the inactives, but Rosie.
Oh no, we have them. We have them.
Oh, go on then, Jamie.
So I'll go through them. So our inactives for today, obviously Trey Waynes is out for the first few weeks. Well, I hope it's only the first few weeks. God knows what our medical staff is like. We've got cornerback Nick McLeod is out, so we don't get to see him after he was brought in from the Bills. Big old Deontay Smith and big old Fred Johnson and big old Tyler Shelvin are out. So that's some pretty big beef that's missing. But those are your inactives today.
A fortified bench that they can sit on.
Does that mean that we're going into the game with only 8 O-linemen? If the two, I mean, haven't we got 10 on the roster? 2 of them are out.
Yeah, I guess that'll have to be the case. I'm surprised about Deontay. He had
me too.
He had a very good preseason. I'm less surprised about Fred. But there you go. And obviously Tyler Shelvin is.
So basically, the swing tackle today is Isaiah Prince. Then.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Deontay Smith's strength would be the fact that he can be a swing tackle and he can play guard, as he has in preseason. I would have thought that he would have been active for that very reason. But Isaiah Prince seems to have got the backing of certainly Frank Pollock.
So Jackson Carman makes his NFL debut. I'm sure he'll see a few snaps today. And Isaiah Prince is the swing tackle. That's interesting. Yeah. And Trey Hill, of course, backing up Trey Hopkins. We've had a couple of pictures in. We've asked you to kind of send in your pictures of how you're preparing for the game, what you're wearing, what you're eating, what you're drinking. This is lovely Rosie and her newborn
Oh!
baby. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? He's in for a lifetime of pain, I think.
Yes.
And also, Rosie has sent in this as well.
Oh, very good. He'll
Very
grow
good.
into it, I'm sure.
It's probably it's probably the best way to be asleep, approaching a Bengals game. I think
No one's going to sack that. So look so cute.
No, absolutely. Roland Hogg says, "Hi guys, the expede." Don't know what that means. What does that mean? The expectation is high.
Yes.
There you go.
Is expectation high this year?
Well,
what is the expectation for you guys this year?
I think better than last year would be absolutely fine from me. I am on record, particularly on record in our new fanzine, as not being particularly on board with the Zach Taylor coaching regime. So if we are able to win games in spite of that, then that's good. But we really need to either go all the way and become challengers, or I don't think it's there yet, and I think Zach's going to be the one holding us back. This is meant to be the time that we're attacking, because we're in Joe's rookie contract. Joe's very cheap right now. I mean, in 2 years' time or whatever it is, we're going to be looking to renegotiate with him, and that's going to be an awful lot of coin. So now's the time to get deals done, to bring in free agents, to sign your own free agents. I know that plenty of other teams have been signing up their best defensive players to new contracts. The Bengals need to be getting on with that with Jesse Bates. Otherwise, we're going to be left behind again. I want there to be wins, and I think there will be wins. But I want this team to be the best that it can be, and whether it can do that, I'm not sure yet.
Pete?
I agree with Jamie about the window. This is most definitely the window whilst Burrow is cheap. But the organisation has been investing. We spent more in free agency in the last 2 seasons than ever before. We've put tools around him, running game and in the passing game. The problem was injuries have been a real problem, and we've not had a decent backup. The depth hasn't been there. I hope it is there now, but it doesn't matter how many points we can score on offense if we can't stop them on defense, and that's why we've seen a significant focus in free agency in defense over the last couple of years. We spent a lot of coin on Trey Waynes, never got on the pitch yet, got on the field yet, and that's disappointing. But I hope that we will see more from the free agency and the revamped. I mean, that defense, aside from Jesse Bates and Hubbard, is completely new compared to 2 years ago. So we want to now see the fruits of the investment that we've had there. Look, we've been building. We won 2 games in his first season. We won 4 and tied 1 in his second season. We've got to see another step up, and a significant step up. It's got to be 7+. If it's 7+ and we're heading in the right direction, then we can be positive, because you've got other teams in our division who may have been peaking, who may soon start to drop off. The Squealers, the Ravens potentially. So we've got to be looking at that division, not this season, but next season and the season beyond that.
Ben Wintle has just joined us. I know that Ben Wintle has very gracefully torn himself away from his buffet in Ibiza, and he would say at least 8. He wants at least 8 wins this year.
Take that.
Yeah, that's possible. That's possible.
Whether it's possible or not, I'm not entirely sure. Stuart Baird here's the first appearance of Stuart Baird this year, and thankfully,
how many clothes does he have
on? He's rocking his new stripes. He's looking good. It's a shame you can't see his slippers, I must say, because the slippers are quite something as well. But good to see you, Stuart, in fine form as ever, and we can't wait to catch up with you guys. Now, as regular viewers will know, we like to punctuate this tailgate with recommendations, because tailgate's all about beer and food and football and games and silliness. So we've got another first appearance of the season from our old pal Moz, who very I mean, it's great that he does this for us, but he where is he? You're gonna have to wait. I knew this was happening. He gives us some. He's really into his craft beer, so he is going to help us with some beer stuff. So let me just get this window open.
This is where we need a test card with Nathan sat on your knee in front of a blackboard.
I know, right?
Now, almost no one's going to get that reference, Jamie. Almost no one.
That's what I'm here for. I'm here for obscure references and.
Okay, well, here's Moz anyway.
Hi guys. Sorry, this is a bit different. I've moved house during the summer, and literally house is still been upside down, and there's no real place for me to do any videos. But I thought, what I can do to my room with the flag that's finally up. If you've been in the Admiralty for the Bengals games, you might recognise it. It's one of the flags that are hanging up. A mate of mine who's a Chargers fan actually went in, Saturday got anything, and he came up with some Bengals stuff, and he said, I know exactly what I want now, and he was right. It's nice to finally have it up and hanging deservedly above my bed, funnily enough. So also great new jerseys. I'm really loving this orange one. I love them all, to be fair. I'm going to get them all. But I think it's hopefully the new era of the Bengals, and hopefully a successful period of time starts this year. And I don't see why not. I think we've got everything in place to be good. And just hopefully it all comes together. It might be some ups and downs, but we have to win, I think, against the Vikings. So they're the type of games you need to win if you want to be successful, I think, especially to them. But anyway, beer. That's what I'm here. The first beer I will recommend is the All That Awaits. It literally came out yesterday. I'm recording this Saturday, so it came out Friday. It's from Track. It's 8% double IPA. It's a milkshake IPA. It's got like a peachy, fruity, citrusy vibe of it, and then it's got the lactose in there that gives it a nice full body, and it's a bit of floral. There is a bit of bitterness there to counteract like the natural sweetness of the hops used and also the lactose in the beer. The second beer I'm recommending, it's not a cheap one. A beer style that's it's getting to that stage now where it's even a beer. It's basically an alcoholic smoothie. It's from beerbros.co.uk or .com. They get a lot of American beers, a lot of small independent ones to the UK, and this is Bars, I think, based in Houston. The Ninja Sheep. This is really cool. This is the pineapple coconut. Oh, I can't remember the other one. It's 3 fruits. I can't remember what it's called. Pineapple coconut, passion fruit papaya, something like that. I think it's one of them too. And he was outside it a few weeks back, and oh my god, it was so good. He just blows your socks. It's literally a smoothie. I'm pretty sure it's papaya. Yeah, pineapple coconut papaya. Pineapple coconut papaya. Yeah, I think it's that. Yeah, I think it's like $8.50 a can, so it's not cheap. Obviously, with the cost of getting over from Texas to the UK, it's not cheap, and distribution and all that. So, but it is an absolutely amazing experience of drinking. It is so delicious. Like I say, it's more of a smoothie than a beer, but even people who are a bit beer, like beer, like snobs, even they enjoy them. And secretly, they enjoy them. But they're the 2 beers I recommend. Let's have a good Sunday.
Pineapple, coconut, and papaya.
Yeah, we have to remember that. Pineapple, coconut, papaya. Pineapple, papaya, and coconut. Coconut, papaya, and pineapple. I like the fact that Mars is put that flag above his bed. Did you see his little face when he said
Yes.
above his bed there?
Covering up the mirror.
Oh, goodness me. I don't know. Anyway, thank you, Mars. I want to come back to smoothie beers, but we have again it's an episode full of first appearances and live. That's right, live from Paul Brown Stadium. It's your friend of mine. It's Jeremy. How you doing, Captain?
Hooday, UK.
Hello, my friends.
Hooday.
How are you? And there's Jess. How are you, mate?
Oh, we are hot. It is hot. It feels like 105 out here, but I'm telling you, I can't see my screen, but the fans that are lined up to see warm up. I've never seen so many fans here this early for warm up. I've got goosebumps, and then this guy's coming in.
Aha.
It's electric. This is the different feel that I've ever felt in this stadium. And we've had some good teams and some good games. This is phenomenal.
I was going to ask you, Jeremy, in Tailgate, what was the atmosphere like? Obviously, it's really the energy is there because it's the first game of the season. But you're saying it feels different today.
It was great. Same thing. A lot of people have a lot of hope. Let's go, dude! Oh yeah.
Sensational.
Yeah, the tailgates were great. A lot of people feel good. Yeah, obviously we were the Bengal Bomb Squad. We swung by Bengal gyms. Everybody was feeling good, partying, having a good time. You know what? Everybody feels like we're gonna come out with a W, and I'm on board. We're gonna win this.
And the optimism is that down to the club itself? You think really making an effort to engage with fans this year and the players as well? Is that helped? Do you think?
You know what? I think it has. It really has. It really has helped because they're getting more people engaged. They get more people on board. They're reaching out and letting people know what we're doing to change, what we're doing to take that next step. And it's reflected in the energy of the fan base. I was telling Jeff, like, I hate to say it, game one is a must win, but the energy that we're building right now, if we pull this win out, we're going to be unstoppable. We are going to the playoffs if we win one game, and it's this game right here.
Wow. And what's it like seeing people? Have you seen Mike Zimmer about on the field, giving him a little wave? Old time's sake?
We got in here a little later than normal. Right now we just got specialists. Yeah, there's Zach and Clark Harris and Huber chatting it up. We didn't get here early enough to see Mixon, but I don't even know. They might be locked in. They might be warming up in the locker room. You got to be the Vikings. But yeah, it's something else right now.
Amazing. And look at all the new uniforms there. Everyone's dressed in new uniforms. Everyone's kind of waiting, and it looks really. You can just feel the energy, the anticipation coming through the screen from over there, man.
Oh yeah, I've got goosebumps. I can't wait. It's I know it's been weird because we had so long. Oh, here we go. Hooray!
Yeah, the boys. Go on, the boys. Amazing.
Go on, the lads.
And
they're all in white today, Jeremy, yeah?
Yes. Luckily for them, they're all in white. Me, not so much.
So what are we saying temperature-wise? You say it's hot today. Are we pushing a high temperature?
It feels like about 95 right now.
Wow.
I will tell you the temperature in my pants. It's worse. It's bad.
It's always 95 degrees in your pants, Jeremy. We all know that. We all know that.
Technically speaking, what, 98.6? But yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Listen, mate, thank you so much once again. We love having you on. You've got a special bond with us over here, and we love you taking the time out. And it really does give us a flavour of, real game day over there. So thank you so much, Jeremy.
Hey, we love all of you. Can't wait to see you again. And hooray!
Hooray, Jeremy!
Hooray!
Oh, I want to see him swap hats with Hooday Baby, who's directly behind him.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, here we go. We've got another person coming onto the stream right now. Living La Vida, Luca. How you doing?
Not bad, guys. How you doing?
Yeah, good. Thanks for coming on. You've got your new stripes on as well. What's going on? It's all happening.
Lovely.
Yeah. Although I sort of lost myself on the NFL sort of merchandise site the other day, and I was just trying to work out if I'd got a Duff version, because you can get like these for about £300 or something, can't you? And they're all called different things, like vapor something.
Yeah, that's the game version.
Ah, well, there we are. So
it's just another way of making money.
Yeah.
So the game version isn't sort of scratchy and acrylic then?
No. It helps you breathe. I have to be honest.
That's reserved for the fans. That's reserved for the fans only. Of course it is.
I have to be honest. I ordered my new stripes, and it was supposed to be delivered to a third venue before coming over to the UK, and never arrived. And I got onto them and just said, "It's never arrived." And they were absolutely fantastic. Credited me straight away. Got another one in the post, which I got straight away. So I have to say that the service has been excellent in terms of getting my new stripes, which I will be wearing when kickoff comes around.
So, how are you feeling about the game today?
Well, I mean, the Vikings are a bit crap, aren't they? I mean, I don't know. Unless I'm reading the wrong previews, but everything I've been reading, they're not great. I mean, so why wouldn't we win? I don't know.
Because we're not great either, or we might be better this year. Right? That's the feeling.
Yeah, I don't know. I think 27-17. That's where my money is.
Right. So that's your prediction for today.
I think so, but I don't know if I'll be able to cope with that sort of win and then what it means for the rest of the season. So I don't quite know what I want.
And what about the rest of the season? What's your feeling for? I mean, is it going to be better this year?
I mean, it's all about the O-line as ever, and it's a continued leap of faith. I mean, you'd hope Williams continues to progress, although, if he doesn't, it feels. I mean, I think it's down to that. If we're solid there, the other pieces are pretty much there. Defense probably better this year than before, but yeah, there's still too many unknowns. I mean, the second, what's his name, Carmen. I just don't know we're going to see him. I always say it's not good.
Not yet. We'll see. Okay, mate. Well, good to see you. We must press on. Thanks for
see you, chaps.
Have a good one.
Have a good time. Have a good time.
Pity we couldn't have kept him here until the Vikings fan turns up, because then he could do debate. Vikings are a bit crap, aren't they?
Exactly. Always good to see Living La Vida, and always good to see Jeremy. But we must just have a quick chat about Moz's beer recommendations. The second one, the smoothie. Where do you stand on alcoholic, basically sours and smoothies and fruitiness and all this kind of stuff? It confuses me. I've got a can of beer, and then suddenly I'm hit with this flavour sensation that's not beer.
My dad's a massive fan of Belgian lambic beers, which are, apparently something you have when it's a very, very hot day. You cool them down right to freezing. They have that very fruity, very sour taste. It's not for me. I understand it. I can understand why people are into that. I understand, why people are into peanut butter, but I don't like that as well. It's lost on me, but it's a strange world, and people have their things.
Exactly. Pete, what about you? Are you into fruity beeriness?
I'm the same as Jamie. It's not for me, but I understand putting sweetness and fruit and what have you with stuff. Just makes another product that can hopefully sell more, just makes it more accessible. So I get why they do it. Just not for me. You won't see any of that in my fridge.
Okay, well, let's talk about food. We've got a Vikings fan coming up. We've got your fantasy football hot tips coming up. But let's get to our food section. We like to scour the internet to see what weird and wonderful food trends are happening out there in the world. And first one today, not so weird, I don't think, but Jaffa Cakes are now producing Jaffa Donuts or Joe Nuts.
Joe Nuts.
Are we on board with that? I think I would be. I've not tried these yet. Have you?
I've not tried them. The concept seems sound. I think mass-produced donuts tend not to be that great.
Yeah.
So the donut element, I think, is going to be what lets it down.
Right.
But yeah, broadly fine. I think I'm on board with that.
Okay, very good. Pete, you down with that? I'm down. Anything?
Yeah,
Jaffa,
very much so.
I'm down.
Yeah, I'd give it a go.
Next up in our weird and wonderful food stuff is the roast dinner pizza. Now, I like pizza as much as the next human, but I'm not sure whether I want a roast dinner on a piece of bread, flatbread. What I don't know, and it looks really awful as well.
Yeah, he looks dry. It's not for me, mate. I quite like a roast dinner. It's not top of my list, and certainly a Pizza Hut pizza is particularly not top of my list.
No.
But unless they decide to sponsor this, at which point, yes, go to Pizza Hut. But yeah, that just looks beige and awful.
Yeah, pizzas are supposed to be joyous things, aren't they? They're not supposed to be like.
It's a school dinner pizza.
I mean, is a basic principle of pizza that it's pastry, tomato, and cheese, and yet you can put other stuff on, but cheese, I'm sorry, is not in any roast dinner, and there's no tomato on that I can see.
No,
those potatoes look like an abomination.
Those potatoes look like the kind of scabs that you get after breaking your knee, I think.
No, crispy.
Anyway, we'll get rid of that. Stuart Baird said the Jaffa donuts are too small. That pizza looks rank. Chris Yarland said
he's bang on.
Are so hit and miss, but that looks crap. And again, he said fruity beers now confident like seltzers are really aimed at the 18 to 24 market and like Coke. I don't know. I think they're a lighter option than beer, but when you mix the pair of them, that's quite.
I mean, those seltzers are very topical at the moment, aren't they? Very trendy at the moment. Everyone's doing those seltzers.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, what are they called? Is it White Claw or something like that? And
yeah, Palmer juice.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to find something that Tom McDowell cooked or is cooking, and
yes.
I've seen this. I got given a bit of an insight into the making of this.
If you're feeling hungry, you shouldn't be looking at this because this will make your stomach grumble.
Turn.
Not turn. No.
If you're a vegetarian like this, like me,
I get that.
I'm just going to try and find it. So just keep talking amongst yourselves.
Again, it's the test card. It's the jazzy sort of music. I'm sure we'll be slicker in other weeks. But it's like we've not had a pre-season.
Early season teething problems. Yeah, exactly.
Well, not really teething problems, but it's just one of them things, isn't it? It's technology. And anyway, I've got Tom's Burger. It's a special burger. That doesn't really do it justice, but it is. It's what is it? It's a whole camembert.
Yes.
Lord.
Wrapped in burger meat, and then wrapped in bacon.
Bacon lattice, yeah.
Which I mean, if that doesn't kill you, that should have its own. Sort of
the kind of thing Elvis would eat.
Yes.
Have you seen the picture of him after he had it cooked?
Yes, I've got it.
That does look nice.
Oh.
And look at it. I mean, I like that. It's fat. It looks like a cannonball in between two ridiculously sized pieces of bread.
Needs a bit of lettuce next to it.
I think
Yes.
so. Well, it's been nice knowing you, Tom, I must say.
Have you got the other picture when it's cut open?
No, hold on a second.
The cheese just runs out. It is a bit
oozy goozy, isn't it? Oh, there
Yeah,
we go.
it's very naughty, this picture.
It is. This should
will get
carry some sort of.
Your cholesterol's going to go up just looking at this picture.
Yeah, it is pretty awful, isn't it? In a sort of quite an erotic way, actually. I think. Look at that.
Oh,
I think anything that oozes cheese is basically.
It's a fondue burger, basically.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a whole camembert in there. I mean, come on.
It's very, very cosmopolitan of him.
It is.
With Cincinnati chili, and now we're having camembert.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. Let's carry on our food tour of the world today. We have got. Well, I found this kind of quite interesting today. We're obviously very well known in this country for drinking tea. And a survey by Tombola, whoever they are, I think they must be some sort of gaming website, have taken a poll to see what Britain's favourite dunking biscuit is. And would you like to know the top 10?
I think Hobnob's going to be high.
Yeah, rich tea.
I don't think a rich tea can handle being dunked though.
Oh, I think people like it though.
I don't think it has the structural integrity.
Malted milk.
We're going into Peter Kay.
Chocolate digestive.
Oh yes.
There you go. Yeah, that'll do it.
Number 10 is Lotus biscuits.
Oh yes.
Number 9 is digestives. Plain digestives.
Same as rich tea.
Number 8, ginger nut.
I love a ginger nut.
Number 7, rich tea. There's your rich tea. Number 6, Jaffa cake, but is it a biscuit?
That's not a biscuit.
No,
it's called cake.
Number 5,
it's called cake and it's made out of cake.
A bourbon biscuit is number 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Custard cream is number 4.
Yeah.
Shortbread is number 3. The often forgotten about shortbread as biscuits. Number 2,
lovely.
Knob.
There you go.
And number 1,
chocolate digestive.
There we go. There
we go.
Chocky day.
Wrong one. It's got to be dark chocolate. But there you go.
Well, there you go. That was fun, wasn't it? Right, I found this quite interesting. We've done a few sort of things on this channel about kind of weirdly scientific produced food. And would you like to see the first ever 3D printed steak?
No, but you're going to show it us anyway.
Yes, I am indeed. So this is from Japan, as you probably guess.
Oh no!
And basically, Joe Goodbury has probably got a rock in his pants watching this. But this is an actual steak being 3D. Apparently, it's produced by the cells from an actual cow. It cost $30,000 to produce. Let me just turn the sound off of this.
It did sound like a hairdryer.
Yeah. According to a recent study, meat makes it blah, 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 blah. Lab-grown meat is not a new frontier. It basically sells from Wagyu cows, and it costs up to about £150 per pound. And the bioprinting process was carefully calibrated in order to try and recreate the exact nature of the tissue. And I think it's fascinating, but kind of weirdly going into Star Trek. Do you remember in Star Trek when they had those? This is what the steak actually looks like when it's printed. I mean, it is remarkable, isn't it? But I'm not sure.
Yeah, it looks vaguely lifelike.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But as it says on the top there, it's synthetic beef.
Yes, exactly. But is that the way we're going with food shortages and all the rest of it. Who knows? Anyway, I like to just
Well,
just
not at 30,000 to go, it isn't.
No, that's right. Yeah. And finally, in food this week, I found this online. And
what's he got for us here now? Minge.
Okay.
So there we go. There's something to look out for everyone there. Now, I believe our Vikings fan is having some connection issues. So we're going to dive straight into our fantasy football recommendations. So anybody that...
Sorry, just Minge.
See, I mean,
we found Jamie's level.
Who doesn't love? I was going to say who doesn't love Minge, but that's not a question I should have been asking, really. Right, okay. Let's go in with our fantasy football, shall we? It's Adam. Adam, of course, did the what did he do last year? The betting for us last year, and but we thought, betting is quite a niche thing, isn't it? So we thought we'd do something that's kind of played for by everyone, and that is, of course, fantasy football. Everyone wants to know. Everyone's making their last minute kind of bits and pieces. So Adam's going to come on board this year and give you.
Good day, Bengals fans. Good evening. I am Adam Wolford. I am at Touchdown Tips on Twitter, and I'm back this year not with betting tips, but with some late waiver wire additions. Should you be looking for that player to take you over the top just before kickoff? I'm going to give you a couple of players from each position with a low ownership, either on NFL.com or Sleeper, and players that you can pick up to go. First up, quarterbacks. Jimmy Garoppolo for the 49ers. They're the biggest favourites of the week, and Jimmy G will be starting.
Oh, have we lost him?
He's either thinking very carefully about the next person.
I think that might be at Paul's end. Well, the show must go on. I guess.
Okay, well, Jamie, tell me what you expecting today for the game.
I'd quite like us to get off to a bright start, get well into it, and maybe there's going to be a lot of offense. I think whether that's as a result of the lack of ability in the Bengals secondary or in elements of the Vikings secondary. I see a lot of scoring. I really do.
Yeah.
But shall we do a sort of facsimile of Adam? Obviously, we haven't done as much research into fantasy as he has. I don't necessarily play, but do you see any matchups across the NFL that would be beneficial?
Well, I play fantasy games, and you know that because I had a live draft earlier in the week, and I got the opportunity of picking my running back, and I put it out there in our Bengals chat who should go for, and you were the one who was absolutely insistent. Dalvin Cook.
Yes.
So
yes.
If Dalvin stinks today, I'll be delighted as a Bengals fan, but I won't be delighted as a fantasy football fan. But listen, I'm a homer. I love my Bengals, so I haven't been able to resist putting Bengals players in some of the fantasy teams. You can find T. Higgins, Boyd, and Chase remarkably low. You can pick them up in the middle to late rounds, and Boyd and Higgins especially, they're going to be close to, if not surpass, 1,000 yards, and will have half a dozen minimum touchdowns, and that's a really, really good point scorer for middle to late rounds. every single season we've had him, I have been lured into the temptation of picking Mixon, and in every season but one, I have been let down by him. But sure enough, I'm still going to go for him again. So I've got him in at least 2 of my 5 fantasy teams that I run this year, and I think in 3 of the 5, I've gone for McPherson as my kicker, because he's going to kick a bomb anywhere from 40-yard line, so a 50 yard plus, he's going to kick him. I noticed in preseason, Jeff Hobson said that, sorry, not in preseason, Jeff Hobson said in warm-ups today he's hit one from 57.
That's what we're after. That's what we're
absolutely.
after.
Yeah, I've also gone on record as saying I'm really looking forward to week 11, not sure when it is, when we're in Denver, because I reckon that give him the chance and he may take the NFL longest field goal record. So yeah, I picked up McPherson in a few of my teams. I pondered on having the Bengals defense, but it wasn't brave enough in the end. I think they'll be much better than last season, but they were so poor last season from a fantasy perspective that they would really, really need to kick on to be even competitive. And then in at least one of my teams, I've got Joe Burrow.
There you go. Yeah. All right. So we getting slowly towards kickoff. We're going to be packing up about 5:30. I want to see some predictions from you all. I don't have access to the control panel like Paul does, but I've got access to your Bengals Twitter, and I've got access to Bengals UK Facebook. Give me what you think is going to happen today. Tell me what you think, guys. I think this is, it's a clean slate. My hope hasn't been beaten out of me just yet. We'll wait probably about a month for that to happen. But yeah, I want to see. I really want to see, what people think is going to happen in this game.
I think it's also a massive game because week 2 away at Chicago will probably be a 50-50. If we win this game week 1, that confidence, that momentum will be an extra 10%. We could boost ourselves so much and be with a chance of being 2-0. And those first 4 games are crucial. We need to be 3-1 after the first 4 games. And if we can get across, start with 2-0, that would be fantastic.
Now, I've taken sight of a little mustachioed face pop up in the left-hand corner. Paul, you're back.
I am. What happened? Well, my Wi-Fi's been weird all week, and during the off season I bought a new hub and everything to make sure that connection was as strong as ever.
Did you keep your receipt?
No, but she's ringing Sky first thing tomorrow and having a right old go because there are literally 2 fans out there watching, and to disappoint those guys is just chance. Andrew Dockerell says, chances of winning this one I like Paul Hirons' Wi-Fi, 50-50. Yes, I know. Wooly Pavlovich. Let's go Bengals today.
Go on, Wooly. Wooly.
And first. Hi, guys. Who day? So, apologies about this. We're going to have to leave Adam's football chat. And I believe we have a Vikings fan waiting in the wings. So we bring him on for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Evening, gents.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Welcome to Bengals UK online tailgate. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on. Sorry about that. I was having problems accessing the link.
You're not the only one, believe me.
I know that feeling. Andy. Pete, Andy is all yours.
How you doing, Andy?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Are you going to the season with any confidence? Are you happy with where the Vikings are at the moment?
Always go into it with confidence. It's the best way to start. But yeah, I think last year my confidence last year was misplaced. I don't think I kind of realised how disruptive the kind of squad overhaul that we'd had was going to be. We got rid of some experienced heads who, did need to go, given where they were at with their career. And that with the whole COVID thing and pre-season not being quite what it might be really started to show up in those early weeks. So I think this season we're a lot stronger, in a much better position. But again, it's a lot of new faces as well. So while there's a lot of talent that comes in, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to settle in immediately. So,
do you take confidence in the fact that if I got this right, Zimmer has taken you to the playoffs in every odd-numbered year, and of course we're in an odd-numbered year this year?
I'll take it wherever I can get it. That means a lot. I like Zimmer. I do. I think there was a lot of pressure on him last year, but I think when you take a step back, there's a lot of criticism of him. But again, with the factors that I've talked about there, it wasn't an easy job for him. I think there's some people in the fan base that just don't like him, and they'll beat him the first chance they get to do that. But some people don't like a defensive-minded coach, which he is. But I think we could be a lot worse off than we are with Mike.
I think the irony
we had Mike as a DC here, and he's universally loved in Cincinnati.
Yeah,
what I've heard from Minnesota is that they didn't like how high Mike's son, I can't remember his name, is in the organization. That was one of the wedges used against him.
Right. I think is it Adam? Might be Adam.
Yeah.
But then, of course, your offensive plays this year are being called by the son of Kubiak, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's Clint Kubiak.
And he's never called plays before. And in pre-season, he started off calling the plays on the touchline, and then decided, I'm going to go up into the box above and call them. And it's a bit of an easy start to a season with those question marks, isn't it?
Yeah. Those are the things I kind of choose to ignore in my pre-season optimism. But we're keeping it in the family there, I suppose. I was disappointed that Gary Kubiak left, because he, this is the sort of third or fourth offensive play caller we've had in 3 years. And it's really difficult to kind of build up relationships and momentum like that. And he just started to, the end of last season, it looked like things were starting to come together for him. And he just, quite suddenly, it seemed, just decided to wrap it up. So...
the links between the Vikings and the Bengals seem to go back and quite significantly. We talked about Zimmer, Trey Waynes, who we got from you, and sadly hasn't played for us yet and won't be playing today. And Riley Reef, of course, we brought in to shore up our O-line. I was surprised that you didn't re-sign him, because your O-line's not been too good either, has it?
Yeah. Probably our biggest problem last season, that we had a few to choose from. I quite like Riley Reef. He was one of those that seemed to, I'm not entirely sure why, he seemed to split the fan base, I always found. But we've actually undergone pretty much wholesale changes there, and this is what I was talking about on our show, that there's a lot of optimism now that we've kind of addressed that problem position, but it has to be tempered, because all of these guys are new and they've not played together before. So whilst they're probably a more talented bunch, it doesn't just mean it's going to be an immediate fix.
And the main fix for the left tackle was Christian Darrithorn. He's been injured in pre-season a fair bit, and he's out today, isn't he?
He is, yeah, which is a shame. We were noticeably being quite cautious with him during pre-season. It's certainly the noise is coming out from the coaching staff as well. We're really trying to temper expectations on him. I don't know if that was because they knew he had this lingering problem, but that is a shame.
So speaking of today, what do you think? What's going to happen?
Well, we're going to win, because I have to say that, even if even if I didn't think we were, I do think we will this week. I think it could be a high-scoring game, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that some of these experienced heads can come in pretty quick and hit the ground running. We need the likes of, Peterson, maybe Woods if he gets the call back there. Harrison Smith needs to start strong. So I see a win, but I think it'll be close. We're going to need sort of 30 points plus to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, both teams have got great skill position players. So if they click early, then it's going to be a case of which defense can get stops at the right time to win the game.
Yeah, and one of the biggest problems we had last year was, I don't know how you feel about your run game this season, but that was one of arguably our biggest flaw, was stopping the run. I mean, are you in a good position in that place?
No, that's been a problem for a while. We've had a revamp of the linebacking core, but we haven't been able to stop the run for a long time. The whole of our defense has changed over the last 2 years. We brought in DJ Reader. We've got some big old units in the center of that line, but I don't think any Bengals fan would say right now, yeah, we're good against the run. So, I mean, Dalvin Cook runs very well. And the irony is you've got Dalvin Cook because we enabled him to fall to you. We traded down so you could go and get him. So I'm hoping that's not going to come back and bite us today. But so give us a scoreline prediction today, Andy.
31-27.
Nice tight game then. Well, listen, thanks very much indeed for coming on. Do you want to tell people about your podcast and where people can find you?
Yeah, absolutely, if you don't mind. So yeah, I'm part of a NFL generalist NFL podcast called Outside the Huddle, which is, we're on all the usual platforms: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We usually put out 2 shows a week now the season's starting. So yeah, you can check us out on there if you like, and maybe if we could get either Peter or one of you other gentlemen on at some point this season, that'd be good.
I very much enjoyed coming on your podcast around the time of the draft. It was good fun.
Yeah, we love it. We do. We enjoy it.
Well, thanks very much indeed for coming on, Andy. And sorry for losing the first game of the season, but enjoy it anyway.
A pleasure, gentlemen. Enjoy the game.
Thank you.
Cheers, Andy.
Speak soon.
See ya.
Well, there we go. Just about time for some predictions. Wooly Pavlovich again, 31-21 Bengals, mixing with a couple, and Joe Burrow over 300 yards. Mozza, Bengals to win, high-scoring game. McPherson to win us the game. Let's scoot round this virtual round table. Jamie, prediction?
All right, I did the predictions blog in midweek. I said it's going to be a high-scoring game. Nothing disavowed me of that opinion. I think it will be about 40 points to 37, hopefully in the Bengals' favour.
Pete?
I also put a prediction in. Can't remember what I put. Still think the Bengals will win 28-17.
Yeah, I'm along that line. Something like 38, 31, 35, 28, something like that. I think it will be messy. It will be fun. It's just about which team.
Points.
Yeah, it's just about which team hits the ground running. And I don't know. I've just got a feeling it might be the Bengals. If we can limit those skill position guys, we've got a chance. We'll leave you with this image of Joe Boy.
Yes.
Walking into the stadium.
The absolute boy.
Swoosh indeed. With panache and confidence and swagger. And we hope he plays like that today. Thank you for joining us on our first online tailgate of the season. Apologies for the technical hitch there, but I like to think that it could mirror the Bengals season. It could be a metaphor for the Bengals season. We started off well. We had a bit of a crazy bit in the middle where things just didn't work. But now look at us. We're back online and we're powering forward. So hopefully that will be a metaphor for the Bengals season. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the game. The podcast will be back tomorrow night to review everything. But until then, we'll see you next week.
Who they?
See you next week. Who they?